Hi, welcome to the Lintas Teknologi Solutions Day 2021. My name is Hugo Cruz and I'm a Tibco Solutions engineer based in Singapore. Although, before the pandemic, I used to spend a lot of my time in Indonesia, working closer with our customers. I have been working with customers mainly in the telco industry over the past 20 years.
Thanks, Hugo, and thanks also to Lintas for this opportunity. And hello to everyone. I'm Ian Harfield, also a Tibco solution engineer, but based out of the UK. I've worked in the telco domain for many years, mostly in the service layer and leveraging event processing to decouple the IT and network domains.
Over the next 20 minutes or so, Ian and I will talk about a Tibco solution that has been transformative on a number of fronts for our key and most innovative future-thinking telco customers. We want to talk to you about and show you how we have been helping them leverage their core connectivity network to generate revenues more easily and faster, become more operationally efficient, cost-efficient and faster to deliver market innovative solutions, and prepare for 5G enterprise opportunities. If you have any comments, you can always, during this session, put on the box below. This is a typical disclaimer slide. All the information we will provide during this presentation is informational only and might contain roadmap information, and customers should not take purchase decisions based on this presentation. I was in a technical meeting recently, and the head of network architecture and strategy for a mobile operator said, telcos don't want to be telcos anymore. The context here is that the telcos need to transform beyond the revenue generated ubiquitously by subscriber-based connectivity. While this sentiment is not a new one, it reflects the impact of the changing marketplace that has eroded traditional revenue streams on voice, SMS, and even data. The changing global conditions and how OTT, over-the-top applications, have raised the benchmarks for customer experience and expectation. I found this quote from Lester Thomas of Vodafone, and I'm sure most of you know him, but it recognizes that the transition to a platform-based and agile product operating model is required. It reflects that there is uncertainty regarding the actual shape of an enterprise opportunity, when an opportunity might arise, its longevity, and its unpredictable scale. So telcos are moving into a world where opportunity is much less linear. So perhaps the question is, how do you leverage your connectivity network in such an agile way to be able to respond to new asks and requirements from the enterprise ecosystem and generate revenues from it and maintain the service levels beyond the connectivity? I saw this image in a recent TMF forum article, which is based upon an Accenture study that was carried out pre and post pandemic. The point I want to raise here is that it enforces the importance of technology to handle unpredictability. As you can see, those organizations that have invested in modern integration, data management, and AI/ML, plus made the cultural shift towards agile product operating models, are thriving. Here, the study shows that the pre-pandemic, such organizations, the technology adopters, were already achieving a 2 times revenue leadership over other laggards. But post-pandemic, because they have been faster to adapt, they are achieving a 5 times revenue advantage over organizations that have not made such technology investments. So, the solution we talk about leverage such capability and will help enable adaptation of the telco network in many areas, and does this by abstracting or decoupling the network from the IT domains. how we have been able to leverage customer and MVNO customer data to make more informed decisions at network speeds and latencies. And now we have augmented the network functionality with innovative applications, have made huge cost savings while maintaining and in some cases improving service uptimes. As a high-tech software vendor, Tibco has evolved this solution from on-premise to now fully containerized, supporting multi-cloud, private, public cloud, and hybrid infrastructures. I will now pass to my colleague Ian to go into further details on all the challenges telcos are facing in network agility and IT and how Tibco can help address these challenges.
Thanks, Hugo, and hi, everybody. Following on from what Hugo was saying, we've seen that telcos can struggle to adapt to meet these emerging opportunities because their network functions or elements have been too tightly coupled to their IT, BSS, and OSS stacks. Also, the access and usage of network session data combined with data from the different various IT stacks at the very moment it's needed also presents challenges. The effect is poor agility, cost-effective scaling, and very long times to market. With IT and network domains tightly coupled, a change in one domain impacts another, and change tends to occur at the speed of the slowest of the domains to change, and there tends also to be a huge amount of inter-domain testing and its consequential costs as a result. And so innovation, scale and time to market tends to be slower, and we've also seen network service availability and revenue losses being impacted by IT originated outages. You know, what is real time and high availability for the IT domain and what is real time and high availability for the network domains are very different, as are the service levels. This situation becomes even more challenging as telcos bring on an ecosystem of enterprises and the less predictable nature of that type of opportunity. How that opportunity can be charged, how it will scale, and there's no time really for long testing cycles. The further push out to multi-edge computing using machine learning towards the different edges and supporting low latency for high volume data at scale is a further challenge. The good news is that in Tibco we've been addressing these issues and enabling agility for the telco network in software for quite some time. So let's talk about how we've gone about solving these challenges. Working cooperatively with partners and telco customers and deploying in stages that align to the business drivers, we've been able to introduce a scalable software architectural layer that decouples the network from the IT, BSS, OSS domains. In this way, de-risking change, increasing agility by removing this inter-domain dependency. The network adaptation layer, as shown in the diagram, sometimes called service layer, probably now falls into the industry parlance of network as a service. This layer is far more than just integration. It's based upon Tibco technology that delivers low latency transactional event and stream processing, in-memory high availability distributed data stores, and configurable and machine learned rule execution. The business values this layer brings is significant and addresses major telco challenges. Let's look at some of these examples. By decoupling the network and IT stacks, it frees the domain dependency, enabling each domain to build, run, operate independently and run at their own lifecycle speeds. Implementing stand-in processing when IT systems are unavailable to maintain service continuity and potential revenue losses. For example, here we've been able to leverage CRM data at network speeds to make service access decisions. Another example is accruing real-time charges and managing individual quotas to avoid huge IT license and scaling costs. Implementing network functions such as network policy and online charging and quota management, or meeting legal requirements and non-standard functions for the most innovative and differentiating operators. We've implemented logic to address network appliance or network function limitations and avoid that lock-in to vendor roadmaps, which typically causes delays and gaps in functionality. And finally, leveraging GeoHA data stores to distribute subscriber and real-time session data, enabling not only an improved experience, but enabling a much more flexible core network topology, which may be distributed across multiple data centers. In this decoupled architecture, functions can be separated to great effect. For example, we're seeing policy engines that can be separated into distinct IT and network domains. The former handling maybe the subscriber-specific decisions, and the latter making the subscriber and enterprise-aware network policy decisions. The two being decoupled but integrated. And a benefit is that each domain or different type of enterprise, as the new enterprises become onboarded, can have their own and completely different systems and completely different policies, different ways of charging, or any other functionality without impacting and minimizing the risk and minimizing the testing on the network. Maybe the simplest and easiest way to think about this is the benefits of an enterprise service bus, but leveraging the microservice and container packaging techniques for scale and portability. Okay, so what might be interesting is to look at a case study. 3UK, part of the Hutchison Group, were introduced into the UK as a challenger brand to challenge the large operators at the time. Tibco has been a vendor to 3 since about 2001, supporting their initial design and architecture build out and launch on the 3rd of March 2003. Being a challenger brand and thought leader, 3 UK needed the agility to move fast with differentiating commercial products. They were also experiencing rapid subscriber growth, and being a new entrant into the market, needed to have great customer satisfaction and keep a very keen eye on operating costs. Although Tibco was initially engaged at the IT level since launch, 3 UK did engage Tibco with the core network team around 2006. They were experiencing time to market delays and were facing huge costs of scaling up their IT software and infrastructure because of the tight coupling between the IT and network domain. Now, 3, being very innovative, realized at that time that the agility that they needed could only be achieved in software. But that software would need to execute with the needed latencies, the scale, and high availability. They realized that further reliance on traditional telco vendor appliance approach and associated roadmaps, which at that time was pervasive, was not really an option for them. Furthermore, being able to execute software on regular hardware and operating systems would give them the decoupled agility that they were looking for, the innovative functionality at pace, but also very competitive operating costs. So since then, the capability that we've deployed, as shown on the diagram you can see, has developed with many standards-based functions such as voice and data, PCRF and OCS, plus unique operator capabilities for improved operations and differentiating customer services. So 3 have benefited also from lower risk and faster changes being applied and deployed to their network, and this architecture is now paying even more dividends in the next wave of hybrid and multi-cloud transformation. This approach has resolved a number of issues regarding the mismatches in scale and latencies between network and IT stacks, enabling easier MVNO and enterprise onboarding. It's also helped improve their network promoter score, or NPS. It's helped them be first to market on some innovative plans and addressed localized regulatory requirements. And it's significantly, as I said, reduced operating costs. However, all that said, the reality is that the success of this project has really been down to the collaboration between 3 Tibco and 3's partners. It's clear that Tibco is not a core networks domain expert. You guys are the experts in that. What is clear though is that Tibco is expert in unlocking the value of real-time data, whether that's data is coming from a network or any other data source. So the collaborative combination of the technology expertise along with the domain expertise has resulted in the success at 3. So what we thought might be interesting is a quick peek under the covers of Tibco streaming for 3GPP, as it's the underlying capability which addresses the problems that we've been talking about. The underlying runtime here delivers the non-functional requirements needed for such a solution. It provides the low latency event processing, enabling logic to be executed in line of the event path, including capabilities such as aggregation, event correlation, routing, and much more. It's also at this layer that supports the key requirements of a transactional, highly available in-memory data store, enabling us to handle session data, policy, or any IT data that needs to be available immediately to the event processing. This session store is also geographically distributable, so it means that if you have data centers which are distributed, we can maintain consistency across that data. The event processing also enables the deployment and the execution of machine learned algorithms via model ops. Furthermore, we can package the solution into multiple containers for flexible network topology deployments, scaling requirements, and use in multi-cloud or hybrid environments in the core or at the edge. On top of this underlying technology, there are a number of network domain specific functional components which align to the 3GPP specification, and that can be configured and monitored by the appropriate persona. Combining these capabilities of the underlying streaming event processor and the 3GPP aligned components, business functions or applications can be assembled and built that meet industry standards or bespoke innovative capabilities that may be needed. These can then be assembled into network functions and packaged into one or more containers, depending on the functional and non-functional requirements, and support the service-based infrastructure registration and discovery mechanisms. The build and assembly of applications and network functions uses a no-code, low-code UI approach. The execution of machine learning models can be combined and leverages industry standard DevOps tool chains and continuous integration and continuous deployment processes. Finally, the internal architecture itself can expose these capabilities via 3GPP reference points for 4G and 5G coexistence, and also support any API-led or TM Forum Open API to support a broader ecosystem use. And now I'm going to pass you back to Hugo, who's going to talk to you about how we can use machine learning within the scope of this solution.
Putting the AI/ML evaluation as close as possible to the edge is extremely important in low latency requirements. In the network and service layer, we can include AI/ML models to be evaluated as part of this solution. They are executed in line of the event stream. On a 4G core, which is based on a synchronous diameter protocol request-reply, the streaming engine receives the requests, the events, executes the machine learning model to take a decision, perform any other necessary activities, and will reply. This could be a model that would decide if a customer, for example, based on age, would be allowed to access a certain location on the internet based on defined policies. On a 5G core, the processing of the streaming engine, the business logic, would be very similar, but the interfaces would be based on a publish-subscribe, service-based architecture or SPA. In this case, the streaming engine would subscribe to the request, process the machine learning model and other activities and other network functions subscribing to the published response. As part of this streaming processing, additional use cases can be derived in areas of business intelligence, network analytics, proactive anomaly detection, KPI monitoring, or automated actions, network policies, slice selections on 5G with machine learning, and operational capabilities, infrastructure registration and discovery, auto-scale alerts, etc. We can always be creative and we can always think about new solutions and new ideas that can be implemented with this streaming platform. These machine learning models are usually created by data scientists that by analyzing historical data will create these predictive models, which are then deployed in the streaming platform. Tibco has the data science tools to prepare, analyze the data, and create the results, and the model ops tools to manage the life cycle and deployment of these models. So, why Tibco? It's a fair question. Tibco is most likely not the first name you will think in the domain of the telco core networks. However, Tibco is a global leader in unlocking data for real-time usage, and we've had the benefit of solving these problems across multiple industries, including real-time trading. This experience and leading software practices to address both functional and non-functional and live through the on-premise to cloud-native journey ourselves and with our customers gives us a great advantage to help our customers. The capability of putting the business logic very close to the event stream source, network events, for example, and designing this business logic without any coding allows our customers to continuously update this business logic with CI/CD tools and patterns and include machine learning models in the stream processing. However, it is fair to say that Tibco is not a telco network specialist, and although we have the technology to address these challenges highlighted today, we do need to work cooperatively with our customers and partners like Lintas, who are experts in their domain to achieve these business objectives to our customers. We have been working with Lintas over the past couple of years, and we will continue to leverage this partnership to provide our customers with the best solutions and give them the technology edge to leapfrog the competition. In summary, the cloud scale capabilities to create composable network applications and decouple those from the IT API applications is the key to unlock new revenue streams in the enterprise customers of our telco customers. 5G is a technology that will enable telcos to focus on the enterprise market with a new and innovative solutions. But some of those solutions have yet to be imagined and the models to charge them as well. So this decoupling of the IT and the network will provide the telcos the agility and flexibility to turn this imagination into reality. And in this last slide, I would like to leave you with further reading on the topic we just talked about in these presentations. And if you have any further questions about this presentation, the topic, you can always contact Donnie from Lintas, our partner, and Charmaine, my colleague at Tibco. Thank you for attending these sessions, and we would like to hear from you. Terima kasih.